So today is going to be a very beautiful day for you guys. I will break down how my strategy is. I'll just use gold and what has been happening. I trade all the 3 sessions. Um, yesterday's video, or the previous video, I traded the New York live, or maybe I executed and recorded that execution for you guys from analysis. So definitely check that video out. But I'll go through all the 3 sessions, what I traded, and how my strategy works. So on the first thing I do, I come and check what happened to the daily the previous day. And luckily, this is what I saw, and my strategy is based off liquidity. So I'll wait for a liquidity grab and target the liquidity lows, and that was just what happens. So I saw that we grabbed the lows above there, and coming to this day on Friday, these lows were supposed to be taken, and I'll show you how to get your liquidity targets. So overall, when I come to this day, what do I want to be based off this? I want to be selling unless unless it sweeps below, then changes to bearish. That is when I'm going to look for a bullish setup. But overall, the bears have the strength for the day for me. And what I do after that is I come to the 1 hour. I come to the hourly chart. Let's check it out. And you can see here I trade all the sessions, that hence I put the trading session indicator. And this is what I came to see when I woke up. I saw that it grabbed the highs, and based off these lows, I said we are targeting the previous day lows. So those were my targets. Hold on, let me clear that up nicely. Boom. That is what I saw coming into the Tokyo session. And the next thing I do is to come to the 5 minutes to check my entry. So coming down to the 5 minute, I already know what I want to do. I have my target and what I'm expecting. So how I enter this is I wait for a flip. I will wait for it to sweep, then I wait for it to flip. How do you find the flip? Just come, mark the open of the hourly, so that if it flips back bearish right here, this is what I was expecting. You can see it swept, closed a little bit bullish. So what do I expect for the next candle? So if this candle was to flip bearish, this would have been my flip, but it closed bullish. So what I expected was to trade this, and this was the flip. This was the flip right there. So I coming back down to the 5 minute, coming back down to the 5 minute. Hold on, I really need to get a setup going on. I have a laptop, but yeah. So this is what I was waiting for it to flip back bearish. This is where I took my entry, right there at the flip of it, because it will sweep then flip to then give you that move. If it doesn't flip, don't take the trade. And I already had my targets for a 2.3, and you can see that was a beautiful trade during the Tokyo session. You have your piece of the pie and you leave. So on the next trade, and also another confirmation is once it sweeps, hold on, once it sweeps, look at your left. You want it to sweep and hold a key level. All right, are we together? Hold and keep a key level. So it swept and it was at a key level holding resistance. That's a confirmation that you're going to see throughout this video. And coming back to the hourly for the London session, what do I see? I will come immediately at the London session, so I don't care about what happened to price um, after, or maybe getting that FOMO, fear of missing out. So what do I come and see? I see that we had a sweep right here. That was a sweep, and that as the first confirmation. What do I want to see? I want to see it holding support for it to go back bullish. So coming into London, I already had plans for London. Since it has done that, it has to take out liquidity from these highs. Hold on, liquidity from these highs, that high right there. I'll show you how I'm coming up with these targets, and that high right there. How do I know these are liquidity targets? This is where people sold from, so they need to be taken out. So people who sold from this order block, there are people who sold from this order block, and since the sell of the Tokyo, we took the sell of the Tokyo, so there are some people who sold off this order block as well. And where the risk from is where the liquidity is. So people who sold from here put their stop loss there. When we come back bullish, we want to take out those sells. We want to hit their stop loss. So that is how you get your liquidity targets. That is why I've marked them right there. So coming into the into London session, it was pretty bullish at this point, but this was where I wanted to see it flip back bullish, close above this bearish candle, close above it, and then I would go bullish for the London session. I would come down to the 15 minutes just to see where it swept from, because it hasn't given you a sweep on the hourly. So you can see here is where it swept. A beautiful sweep. I want to see it break above here. So what do I do next? Come to the 5 minutes for my entries, and where I'll put my stop loss. So beautiful. Once I saw this flip back bullish, that is where I took the trade, and you can see a small sweep over here, and that is where I put my stop loss. And the beauty of this trade setup was, after sweeping, it was holding resistance slash support. So that I told you, that's a confirmation you'll see throughout the strategy. And I had my targets. It was a good target, good liquidity targets, and boom, we carried out for that out for a 1 to 4.8. I closed a bit early, closed around here, but if I had my liquidity targets, all of them set, that would have been it. And that's a beautiful London session taken out. Now let's go to the New York session. Back to the hourly. Always want to start from the hourly, unless you are starting from the Tokyo session. So overall, you can see we had a sweep right here. I recorded this actually on the previous video, how I took it to execution. And what do I want to see? I want to see it sweep. What were we holding? This particular point of interest, which is also a resistance, and that is the second confirmation after the sweep. So what do I want to see? Come down to the 5 minutes for my entries. Oh, hold on, we haven't marked our flip. We need to mark our flip. So after the sweep, where is the flip? I want to see it flip here. This is a good example of a flip. It swept and then came back bearish. So coming to the 5 minutes, I want to see it reflip there. Once it does, I'm taking my sells. I said on the previous video we entered this trade a little bit late, but here is how it was supposed to be. Then we mark out our liquidity targets. Right there was the first target, and then we had the second target right on these lows. I will show you how I'm coming up again with these targets. You want to target where people would buy from. people would buy from, and you want to target their SLs. That is basically what liquidity targets are. So why did I pick this low as a liquidity level? People who bought from here, from this particular order block, they took it from here and had their stops below that low, hence liquidity created down there. And the second target over here, people took it from that order block right there. They also had the stops below, same, that is how you do it. And on the sell, you can see the flip here. It came, swept right here, closed back bearish. I am taking my trade on the next 5, risking off those highs and putting down all the targets. That is basically how I trade. And I actually took this on the previous video, but we entered late. I said we entered late. We had the other 15-minute candle opening, and we took it at this flip. We took it at the, I think it around here. It was a 15-minute flip. We have the same targets. I closed off on the second target for around $120. So that is basically the strategy. I am going to put out the checklist on the description, and yeah, you can practice it by yourself. Tell me how it works for you. If you don't understand anything, put your comments or questions down in the comments section. I will check them out and respond. So cheers. You guys have a grateful weekend.